Let's dig right into it here. Let's get. Well, that was going to be a silly phrase I was going to say about getting dirty, but a person who's never attended a score event, um, what would they see when they walk to the starting line?
Wow. Well, you would see the best off-road races put on the world. You would see different classes of motorcycles and vehicles with the top racers from even other types of racing events. You would see over $1 million trophy trucks taking on the incomparable Baja desert mountains, and just an incredible event that has been going on for 57 years now, attracting champions from all over, movie stars, famous people, and just an incredible scenery down here.
And thousands of spectators, just thousands throughout the course.
And free.
Free.
We don't charge.
What is that experience like for those spectators? I mean, they can get really close to the action.
Yes, sometimes way too closer than what we would want them to, but it's part of the tradition here in Mexico. Like Juan said, over 57 years now doing this, they're so used to it. They're not afraid. That it's part of the tradition here. It's like a religion here.
Just so everybody knows who we're talking to, Jose, we have your name on the screen, but the other gentleman, you are
Pintos.
excellent. Good to meet you guys. We talked a little bit about the history of SCORE, recently celebrated a 50th anniversary. How exactly did SCORE get started? Give us a little recap of the early history.
Well, it started back around 1967 when a group of adventurers on motorcycles started off from a bull ring located in Tijuana, just across the US border. They raced down the peninsula of Baja California. It's important to note there were only paved roads on about south of Ensenada, maybe 200 miles. The rest was dirt, all the way down to the tip of the peninsula, to La Paz. And from there, they would stop at every telegraph office so they could get their notes.
That was like their checkpoints.
Those were their checkpoints. And from there, it started the attraction of people wanting to come and live this adventure. And pretty soon, you had a Mexican 1000 race that was organized by NORA, and then SCORE came on board around 1972, and you had stars like James Gardner, Paul Newman down here racing, taking part in the adventure, and then everybody wanted to be part of this incredible race, and that one called the Baja 1000. But now it's evolved into the SCORE World Desert Championship, and it's the San Felipe 250, the Baja 500, and our newest race, 6-year-old Baja 400. So it's incredible.
You touched on some of the famous people who've run in the race, but a lot of mainstream racers have been part of it over the years too. And SCORE and off-road racing also created its own stars as well through the years. Let's talk about a few of those guys that played a particular role in the history of these events.
Well, I mean, stars in our world, in the off-road world. I mean, we have Ivan the Ironman Stewart, probably Walker Evans. I mean, there's so many, Larry Ragland. Those guys, we see them as gods, as our heroes. And they started racing in this type of races, and now, like I said, the people just look up to them, and they're famous because of what they did racing. There's many more, of course.
And we still got a great champion like Rob McCacken, who is the winningest racer, and he's still going at it. He just recently won the Baja 1000 along with
Luke McMillan.
With Luke McMillan. So, and then you've got racers from Dakar, like Nasser Al-Attiyah or Toby Price, who has won several races down here. We've had racers from Jenson Button, Formula One champion, and it's nice to see them come down here and see the difference of racing in an oval or racing in a Dakar, and then come down here to Baja, and they're blown away when they come down here.
I grew up an IndyCar fan, and obviously my first introduction to road race or off-road racing was through Rick Mears and the Mears family.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were here. Casey Mears just raced with us for the Baja 1000. Roger Mears was my hero when I was growing up. So yeah, watching them in off-road racing, also in the Mickey Thompson Stadium races, that was just something else for us.
The recent Baja event, how did that go in terms of success? How many entrants this year? You know, you mentioned that McCachran won again, but were you pleased with how everything went?
Well, we had 284 entries total from 15 countries, from 32 states in the US. It was an exciting 864 miles of route because we went in to certain sections south of Ensenada near the San Quintin and all the way to the mid-peninsula to Carabina. And like Rob McCachran was commenting to us, it's just incredible to race through the desert with either a sunset or a sunrise. We had a variety of weather, nice weather starting out, a little bit warmer, and then we had some rain at the end to make it interesting. And it was very successful. It was a great challenge for the racers, and another adventure that they'll go back to talk about.
I think a lot of people in motorsports are used to just showing up to the racetrack and racing. Explain a little bit that's a lot more involved in, we'll use the Baja 1000 as the primary example, that you don't just get there and race. There's a lot of preparation involved.
Well, a lot of people actually do just show up and not knowing what they're gonna go up against. But yeah, well, we're one of the few that open up the course weeks before so that people can go and pre-run, make their notes, all their logistics and their pit plans, just everything. When race day comes, they're ready. Everything's like fine-tuned, and usually things go perfect as planned. But yeah, it's not normal that people just show up and hey, it's the Baja 1000. It's like on my bucket list, and I want to do it. People do it. We had a guy just did it in an old Triumph motorcycle. He only went 70 miles, and I mean, it was his dream probably. But the Baja and our courses are rough. They're really a challenge. So people need to come and experience it. Like I said, pre-running it will give you an idea of what you need and how much you need to prepare for it.
How much has technology changed the running of Baja and your other events? And I don't mean technology inside of the vehicle. I mean other technologies, GPSs, social media, whatever it is that has changed how the race is both officiated and run.
Well, it has changed a lot in every aspect. You said not only in the vehicles, just the vehicles themselves. They are just over the top. Technology with them is just unreal. How fast they can go through terrain that is so rough. Plus, they're always in communication. You can get all their telemetry. I mean, it's everything is live. Now we can have live streaming, and you can see from inside the vehicles, I mean, just live time what's happening, which sometimes is not good. We just disqualified a team that we were live streaming them, and they did something that it was right there on TV, and so it's good and bad, but I think it's great that people can get to see live action and also live timing. We every hour we can tell you who's in the lead, and it's just unreal where this is going. We can communicate with the teams. From it's I don't know where it's gonna go, but right now it's unreal.
How many different classes are there? And explain a little bit the difference in those classes, obviously, you know, from the very high budgets to much lower budgets.
Yeah, well, we have around 30 classes between the four-wheel vehicles and the motorcycles and quads. Our top class, not top, our fastest class would be the trophy truck class, and it's divided in trophy truck and trophy truck legends, which is actually the legends is an unlimited car. It has to resemble a truck. It's not open wheel vehicle, but it's everything goes. And the legends, the only difference is that the drivers have to be over 50. But that's like the Formula One in off-road.
Right.
And we have pretty much the same, only but it has to be that's class one, which it has to be open wheel, independent rear suspension, so it's not a live diff. So that's the only difference. No truggies anymore, but they're they're pretty close to the trophy trucks. Then we start going down the line with the trophy truck specs, which is like an unlimited chassis. It's a truck based class. It has to be rear traction, and the only thing that it's limited is in the engine. It has to be a 525 horsepower engine, an LS3 engine, pretty much sealed. It's totally stock, and a turbo 400 transmission. So that class to me is one of the ones that are super popular. We've had over like 45. Like in San Felipe, we usually have like 45 of those because it's a driver's class. You're racing against same engines, same transmissions, so the chassis plays a lot, the driver plays a lot. So it's a really popular class now. Then it goes down to like class 10, open wheel limited engine to a 2.5 liter engine, and then score lights. So it just starts going down to class 11, which is the stock, the most classical race car there is, the stock PW class.
Volkswagen.
Yeah, that one. Those guys are my heroes, and then we start with motorcycles. We have a bunch of classes also there. We have the Pro Moto Unlimited, which everything goes. That's the top of the line class. Then we have like a Pro Moto 30. We have Pro Moto Limited. Then we even have sportman classes. We have quads, pro quads. The one class that is really growing right now in motorcycles is the Ironman class. It's something that it's just mind-boggling that one person can take on the Baja 1000. It's just
Incredible.
incredible.
We had over 30 Ironman race this Baja 1000.
Wow.
And that was I think we had 32. I think that was a new record for Ironman. Incredible. It's just like those guys are crazy. Because to drive, to race all those miles by themselves, they're incredible. They're the class of their own.
Give people a perspective of the, not just the miles, but the time involved from start to finish in the Ironman class.
Oh yeah, I mean, we give everyone the same time limit. Like this race was, I believe, 36 hours to finish, and it's more than enough. I mean, you have to be over 20 miles per hour approximate time, but sometimes it's hard to keep it at 20 miles. I mean, you have sections that you're running at 5 miles per hour. And you have sections that you're doing in a motorcycle, you're doing 90 miles or more. But the Ironmans, they have to pace themselves. If you see their tracks, every time they stop for fuel, there's like the difference between another class is that they get fuel and they go. The Ironman, sometimes they take 10 minutes to rest because their hands are numb. They're just their
Yeah,
body
eat a
is.
sandwich, whatever it might be.
They need to stop and rest a little bit. We've had a few that they said, you know what, I had to stop at race mile 500 or I don't know. I don't know what was going to happen. I was going to end up in the hospital if so, but just people try it, and I think it's the best thing in the world. The sensation of trying it, being an Ironman is just unreal.
Just to finish, it's incredible.
Oh, for sure. I can't imagine walking for that long a period of time, let alone riding a bike.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's amazing and something I wasn't really aware of that there was a class
Yeah,
such as.
there's
Oh,
we have quads also that are Ironman. It's a heavier vehicle. It takes, I think, physically it's more demanding. That's why it's not so popular yet. But in two wheels, it's just crazy. I mean, we shake their hands before they take off, and we tell them, I mean, like, what are you doing? Putting up the race, but it's like, why? They're like, oh, they're from all over. So it's something that's picking up, that it's going to be way more popular even, and that it is right now. And even in the trucks, I mean, being in the truck in a trophy truck for 20 hours, that takes a lot. Like one of the teams that almost won it, he Ironman also and won the championship. So it's pretty interesting.
I imagine that in today's world they have lots of state-of-the-art navigation systems in the trucks. However, how does a guy on a motorcycle know which way to go?
Exactly. A lot of it comes with pre-running, of course, and we try to do our best, not only giving them the GPS files with weeks in advance, so they can do their notes, they can do their pre-running, and but we also, I mean, we have BCPs that are virtual checkpoints that they have to hit along the race course, so it's not like just the go race 1,000 miles and come back. So they have to stay on the race course. It's physically marked, even though, like you said, on a motorcycle, how can you on 80 miles per hour through the whoops and you're watching the GPS? It's you can't.
Jumping up and
Yeah,
down.
so we even mark the GPS. Everything's different colored. There's no guarantee that those physical markers are going to be there on race day. I mean, we have just cows. It's just open desert. Cows, vehicles, people. I mean, sometimes there's no markers for 3-4 miles. It's just an adventure. It's just I don't know. We're here at the start and finish line, and it's for us even. It's mind-boggling.
In addition to the 1,000 and the other individual events, you guys actually crown champions at the end of your season. How many people run the full season? Explain a little bit about how the championship works.
Well, in our championship, in score championship, you do have to race all 4 races. If not, I mean, someone that does 3 races and could have more points at the end of the year, he's not eligible to win the
Sure.
championship. Whoever races has more points and raced the all four races. And well, it's just that either you have to start, the driver or rider of record, they either have to start or finish the race. So it doesn't matter how long they go, how many miles they do. For us, the rule is as long as you either start or finish, you get the start points, placement points, and finishing points.
What is the atmosphere like at one of your events? The the complete atmosphere in the pit area, the starting line among the fans.
Well, it starts with the activities of the tech inspection, and then the actual start. We've been starting in recent years the motos around past midnight or 1 a.m., 2 a.m. to give them more distance from the first vehicle, which would usually start around 8 or 9 a.m. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of nerves on all parts. Uh, thousands of spectators at the start, and then all along, like in this case, 864 miles. The racers comment that they're cheering them on as they're going on. Sometimes they even, if they break down or something, the spectators help them, and it's a great atmosphere of camaraderie between the spectators and the racers. It's part of Baja's culture, the whole peninsula, not only our state, which is Baja California, but it's part of our identity. It's part of our culture. We grew up, as Jose was commenting, with off-road racing, and it's really popular. Plus, it has a tremendous economic impact, not only on the host city, but on all of the communities around all along the route. And then not only on race day or race week, but actually, like Jose was commenting, 3 weeks of activities. Plus, you've got there are the 4 events that promote tourism-wise, that promote Baja California the most worldwide. When you've got live stream, when you've got social media, where we've gotten over 10 million people that somehow were involved, either watching us on social media or live stream. Then we've got the Score Journal digital magazine. It's reached up to 2.5 million readers. It's bilingual, it's monthly, and you can see videos, you can see great shots. So there's a lot of expectation all throughout the year for the Score races, because it's also like collateral advantages, also like the Surviving Baja series, which was recently launched and now can be seen here in Mexico also, where you can see the whole last year's championship, all 4 races. And so there's a lot of things that come into the race, a lot of organization, a lot of hard work on putting on this, but it's great satisfaction to see that all of this is happening in your state, in your city, and we all the staff on both sides of the border, we have to, we have something to do with it. We cooperated.
What's one thing that happens at a Score race that most normal or traditional race fans would not expect?
Well, I don't know. Where do you start? It depends. It depends. I mean, you see everything. It's I don't know. Anything can happen. It's like the Wild West here.
It's, I think, on a spectator's part, a lot of us grew up also as spectators, and you bring the family, because it's a family-oriented event. As we mentioned before, we don't charge for it. So you bring your family, you see your idols go by on Tech Day. You sometimes catch the start in Ensenada or in San Felipe or whatever the race starts. But then you have the advantage of going out to the actual race course, and you can see them one part like in a certain section on a valley, then drive over and see them on
the coast,
on the desert. And then you have the advantage of coming back to Ensenada to see them come back. So I don't know of many racing events that you can have something like that from a spectator point of view, but also from a racer, because like Ivan Stewart once said that he raced the Baja 1000 and he went through all 4 seasons of the year. It rained, foggy, hot weather, snow, flurry up in the mountains, and not too many places in the world can you race something like that.
Expect the unexpected, and you still can't be prepared for it.
You can never be. You just have to exactly expect the unexpected.
Is there anything else that the world should know about the Score brand of motorsports?
Well, they need to know that they need to come and experience it in person. This is something that people get hooked on just by coming and expect just watching the race. You'll want to do it because anyone can do it. You don't need to have all the experience in the world. And just show up. We'll find a class for your vehicle, and you can go race. You have people from all over the world that maybe someday they grew up just hearing about it. They come and see it, and then you just you want to do it. You can do it by your own. You can hire companies that will give you the service of putting you in a real full-on race vehicle with all the pit support. So that's unique here. I mean, the car also has companies like that, but you come and you can do it, and you could just leave the vehicle and walk back home, and man, those memories are going to be with you forever.
Plus, if you come down to Baja, we're world famous for our food. We've got the best craft beer in Mexico, the best wines in Mexico, and some of the best in the world. Great accommodation. So a lot of the race teams come, and the fans combine their stay
Sure.
here. A lot of them say, hey, wait a minute, I'm gonna come back like, for Thanksgiving. We just had so many racers that come back for medical tourism, for weddings, for wine tasting, for whatever. So you kind of get all that mixture, and it's something very, very special.
See, we've reached the end of our time. Very enjoyable conversation. I learned a lot. I hope everyone else did. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
EPARTRADE is a digital platform that we've created basically to make life easier in the business community of auto racing.
EPARTRADE, there is no e-commerce. It's literally a connection just like at a trade show. So now, any time of the year, a buyer could reach out to a supplier.
When you see a product that you're interested in, all you need to do is click on request more information, and then from there it is forwarded directly to the buyer or to the supplier.
EPARTRADE really eliminates having to travel, closing down your shop. Now you have a place to showcase globally your racing product and technology.
Looking for a quick fix of motorsports news? The Speed Sport Daily is what you need. It's a free racing newsletter delivered directly to your email every day. We'll cover the winners and the losers and tell you who's making news off the track. It's NASCAR, NHRA, World of Outlaw, IndyCar, and so much more. Go to speedsport.com today and get signed up for America's free racing newsletter and get your daily motorsports fix. The Speed Sport Daily.
Land speed record holder George Poteet's Speed Demon rocketed 481 miles per hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats. You don't go that fast without ARP fasteners.
There is no way that we could go the speed that we've gone, the number of times we've gone, with a lesser quality bolt than ARP supplies to us. And we absolutely wouldn't be where we were today if it weren't for ARP.
When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
We're Performance Plus Global Logistics. Our team of dedicated performance industry and logistics experts get valuable cars and components to the track on time in top condition. We provide expedited logistics solutions for the performance industry using direct routes instead of deferred options, and communicate all necessary information to the appropriate resources to meet regulations and ensure a smooth transit and secure delivery, both domestically and internationally. And we exceed customer expectations by providing best-in-class service with an efficient and cost-effective system in place. Contact us today to book your next shipment.
Scott Lewis & Associates, the sales, marketing, and branding specialist for the automotive performance industry since 1988. We get our manufacturers on track by opening an extensive distribution network, providing product training to sales staff, creating fully integrated sales and marketing strategies, building successful industry partnerships, attending trade shows, events, and races, offering first-class support to customers. SLAI delivers solutions that win you sales. To get in touch with an SLAI representative, call 516-378-6100. Go to scottlewisinc.com or email info@scottlewisinc.com.
With roots in the Midwest that date back well before the Model T, Fifth Third Bank has a long history of serving the needs of automotive companies. While much has changed over the years, our passion for helping businesses put cars on the road and on the track has not. Today, we are more committed than ever as a member of SEMA, a founding member of PRI, and a sponsor of multiple race teams across several racing series.
For over a decade, Fifth Third Bank has been a staunch supporter of our industry and a great partner for many companies in the motorsports field.
Our business has been growing extremely fast, and really we could not be where we are today without Fifth Third. They provided amazing strategic advice, the capital we need to support our phases of growth.
They are true partners for me now, and what they do with their involvement in motorsports is untouched in this community.
Where can we take your business? Fifth Third Bank.
You work as hard as your truck, and you have no time for downtime. That's why more truck owners trust Blue Def, America's #1 diesel exhaust fluid brand. Each batch is guaranteed pure, so you can avoid costly repairs caused by inferior DEF. Demand America's best for your truck. Blue Def and Blue Def Platinum. Put trust in your truck.
When it comes to pushing the limits of performance, the pros know there's no room for compromise. At Crowder Cams, we don't just engineer camshafts and valve train components, we redefine what power means. Since 1955, Crowder Cams has been the name trusted by racers, engine builders, and gearheads around the globe. Whether you're building a street machine, a dragster, or a track car, Crowder Cams provides the muscle you need to dominate. And with Crowder, victory is within your reach.
For over 25 years, Wisconsin-based C-Tech Manufacturing has been engineering and manufacturing the toughest, most accessible aluminum tool drawers, cabinets, carts, and tactical storage solutions for America's hardest working professionals. Whatever you need to store and however you need to store it, put your trust in C-Tech Manufacturing. We build it better. Visit our new website at ctechmanufacturing.com or give us a call at 715-355-8842.
If you're watching this video, you might be wondering, what is WPC? WPC is a surface treatment designed to reduce friction and increase the strength of metal parts. As much as it might seem like a coating, WPC is actually a surface treatment. Think of it like shot painting, but the media is much finer, like talc. So what you're left with is a super hard, smooth surface that actually has some proprietary dry lubricants embedded within it. For more information, visit WPCtreatment.com.